The story opens at Hiramatu Station, just past 10 p.m. Neon lights blaze in the night, illuminating the platform and casting long shadows inside the third car from the front of the train, near the far door. A girl is staring intensely at a boy who stands quietly, lost in thought. Pulling back from the scene, we see a beautiful girl panicking inside, desperately trying to figure out how to return a handkerchief that belongs to him. With a slight blush, the story flashes back to a time near a parking lot, a moment when a girl was violently kicked in the face. It turns out the same girl from the train was fighting off a group of delinquents. From the way she kicked back, it was clear she was no ordinary fighter. She was skilled, fierce, and relentless. She dominated the fight, roaring with a thunderous voice for everyone to drop dead already. This happened over 6 months ago, a glimpse into a life always caught up in conflict. That day, after the fight, covered in bruises, she boarded the same train. Even though she could handle herself, her self-esteem was at rock bottom. She reflected that people only change in moments of confidence, but she had none that day and felt utterly drained. That night she was supposed to take a different train, but by sheer coincidence, she ended up here. People on board gossiped about her, their whispers swirling around her bruised and dirty appearance. Though her expression stayed calm, she was only pretending everything was fine. Deep down, she was used to being treated this way. Then out of nowhere, someone handed her a handkerchief and gently asked if she was okay. His calm and kind voice caught her completely off guard, and she just stared at him, unsure how to react. He kept offering the handkerchief, and that simple moment left a deep impression on her. Back in the present, Ryoko was mentally preparing herself, convinced that today she would finally return it. It wasn't supposed to be that hard. When she boarded the train, everyone else had already left, and she was alone again, stepping off as if she had lost another fight. As the train pulled away, Yoko, the fighting gorilla, had once more been defeated by her own hesitation. "This is impossible," she muttered. It had taken her 6 months just to work up the courage to return the handkerchief and speak to him. She had failed so many times. This time she wondered if he would even remember her, and if she was the only one looking forward to meeting again. Eyes snapping open, she began hitting the nearby pole in frustration, drawing the attention of passers-by who wondered if she was mentally okay. Her inner thoughts spilled out, and despite everything, she despised weakness. That last thought nearly broke her, and she scolded herself. "I am the Iron Leg Ryoko, second to none, whose fierce aura and presence can make a crying child stop crying." As she said this to herself, she readied herself, determined to return the handkerchief no matter what. Tomorrow would be her moment. And then tomorrow arrived. After the school bell rang, Yoko was in the girls' restroom, standing with a mix of seriousness and charm. She gave herself a pep talk, reciting a motivational speech. "I am a beast that stalks its prey. Now everything is down to timing, nothing else. Today is the day where you will overcome all your fear. Don't look back and do what you need to do. Do what you want to do." After this fierce and slightly cute speech, she blushed, feeling ready to finally meet her crush. But as she walked through the hallway, all her excitement vanished when someone suddenly shouted her name. A group of delinquent girls was waiting. One of them, with bleached hair and a broken nose, called her Iron Legs and said it had been a while. She leaned in close, trying to intimidate her with her glare and body language. But Ryoko stayed silent. The girl reminded her that her suspension was over and mocked the way Ryoko was walking, saying it didn't suit a gorilla like her. She spat out insult after insult, expecting Ryoko to snap and attack like before. But instead, Ryoko smiled wide and calm. The unexpected smile shocked the group. As they approached more aggressively, they threw more insults, calling her expression ugly, even though it wasn't at all. Yoko responded with their own words. She told them she had a train to catch and didn't have time to waste on pointless fights. Then she left. One of the girls grabbed Ryoko's shoulder, shouting that her house wasn't even in this direction and that she didn't need a train to get home. Ryoko stopped, then slowly turned around and shot her a chilling glare. Her expression clearly warned the girl to let go unless she wanted every bone in her face broken. Startled, the girl quickly released her. As Ryoko walked off, she told them she was no longer the thug they used to know and fear. I want to change my paths, and besides, I am too busy to deal with you guys. With a wave, she gave a final warning to never show their faces around her again. Her sudden shift in attitude felt strange and confusing to them. As she walked away, one of the girls muttered that something about her had definitely changed. Meanwhile, on the train, the clock had passed 10 p.m. The train moved quickly through the night, and inside, a quiet battle raged within Ryoko's mind. Blushing, she kept glancing at the boy, trying to find the right moment to approach him. 3 deep breaths, trying to calm herself. Just when she was about to speak, she suddenly remembered what the bully had said about her pretending to be a nice and proper girl. The words stung, and her confidence wavered. Slowly, she shut her mouth. A new thought surfaced. After returning the handkerchief, what would be left? There'd be no reason to ride this train anymore. She admitted to herself, I am scared to return it, and moreover, I am more scared to let this moment end. As her head dropped, the boy continued silently reading his book. As soon as Ryoko noticed the group of delinquent girls inside the train, she froze. It became clear they had followed her, likely suspicious after her strange behavior earlier. One of them called out, using her nickname, Iron Legs, and arrogantly walked up, slinging an arm around her shoulder and leaning in. She said, It's obvious you were hiding something from us. I would have given you some thoughtful advice if I were you. Ryoko tried to shake her off and replied, but the bully didn't stop, saying she understood the look Ryoko had given someone earlier on the train, and she recognized that look all too well. She seemed to realize Ryoko had a crush on a guy who regularly rode this train. Pressing even closer, the bully suddenly pointed and shouted toward the boy, This girl's been crushing on you for a while now. Ryoko's eyes went wide and the boy looked confused. Then in a strong voice, Ryoko shouted, No! But as soon as the word left her mouth, she realized it was the exact opposite of what she truly felt. In that one moment, she had destroyed the reason she even took this train. Right then, the train stopped at Umetsu Station, and the doors slid open. Ryoko stood frozen in place. The bully added oil to the fire by saying that she must have been wrong about her hunch and said something very unnecessary. With a mocking and fake expression, she told Ryoko, I meant no harm, and please forgive me for this. The nose you broke still hurts like hell, and what I said was a complete mistake. Without saying anything, Ryoko shoved her aside and ran out, leaving everything behind. The boy stayed behind, quietly thinking, while the bully laughed at what she saw as Ryoko's childish behavior. Ryoko ran until she found a quiet park to hide in. She sat on a swing, gently rocking back and forth, thinking about what she had just said and how everything she wanted to express had slipped right through her fingers. All that excitement she once had was gone now. Even if nothing serious had ever existed between them, there had still been something. But now, not even the idea of liking or being liked remained. Stopping with a heavy sigh, she said quietly, What was I expecting? She imagined that everyone must have seen her as annoying and pitiful. The thought almost made her laugh. Her voice cracked as she said it, and tears began to stream down her face. It felt like she had just lost her first love, the one she had held on to for 6 long months. The disappointment was too much, and she couldn't stop crying. Wiping her tears and snot on her arm, she reminded herself that normal love stories weren't made for someone like her. Still, she thought it was time to finally return the handkerchief. Reaching into her bag to check, her eyes widened. It was gone. She searched every pocket, every corner, thinking back to what had happened. When the bully had leaned into her earlier, that must have been it. The handkerchief had been taken without her noticing. Anger flared up inside her. Tired of their constant meddling, she jumped off the swing and rushed back to the station, to the spot where she had last seen the bullies and the boy. Just as she arrived, out of breath, they were there, almost as if they had expected her return. Panting, she demanded they give it back. The bully pulled out the handkerchief, holding it up and taunting, asking if this little cloth meant that much to her and if it belonged to him. Yoko didn't say a word. She lunged for it, but missed. It was clear now. The bullies weren't just going to hand it over. They wanted something in return. She said that if Ryoko wanted the handkerchief back, she had to follow one condition. Become our punching bag, the bully said with a cold and nasty look on her face. Ryoko reminded her that last time she had tossed her around like a rag doll and asked in a threatening tone if she wanted to get punched in the nose again. This time even harder. The bully replied, "You can surely do that if you want, but if you do it right here in the open, all the constant and fake acting that you have been doing will be destroyed." Do you want to meet him with a bad reputation? She added that if Ryoko just let them beat her up for a bit, they'd back off and not bother her again. Ryoko thought to herself that taking a few punches was better than starting a big scene in front of everyone. She slowly nodded and told them to go ahead. But right after she agreed, the bullies pulled out a thick metal chain, clearly having planned this out. Pretending to admire her guts, one of them mocked, "If your belief is as strong as those legs, why don't we test it out?" Minutes passed and the brutal one-sided beating continued. Loud thuds and pain grunts echoed through the area, but passers-by ignored it, recognizing it as just another case of heavy bullying. Ryoko was hit so hard and so often that she kept collapsing, gasping for air, her arms tied behind her back. The bullies had even tied her legs, afraid of what she might do if she got free. They pulled her hair and asked, "How does it feel to be beaten while you can do nothing but endure? It's frustrating, right? If you are so confident in your legs, how about you try to break them free and attack us?" As the bully glared at her face, Ryoko was unfazed and extremely pissed at them. There was no hint of pain or fear in her eyes. Rather, there was an aura of a beast that sent shivers down anyone's spine. The bullies were startled as they saw Ryoko completely unfazed. As Ryoko lay there, the bullies came to a realization. Hurting her body wasn't enough. For someone like her, pain meant nothing. So instead, they started talking. One of them casually brought up what had happened after Ryoko ran off the train earlier. She said that the boy Ryoko liked had stepped in and tried to stop everyone from bullying. "He was such a sweetheart," the bully said, smirking. "He was all worried about you." Then she added that when she saw him for the first time, she figured the handkerchief had to be his. She dropped it on the ground and stomped on it. Ryoko's eyes widened. She added that after she left, all the delinquent girls fought him and beat the crap out of him. This shook Ryoko, and the bully kept adding things to her sentence, mentioning how he was such a wimp and how it made no sense why Ryoko was so into weak, pathetic, spineless boys. She leaned close and mocked, "Seeing you lying there reminds me of him. Both of you flat on your backs, a perfect match." After all the insults and beatings, the girls began walking off, saying that this had been pretty fun. But suddenly the picture of the boy Ryoko liked came to her mind. She shouted, "Wait!" The bullies looked back and froze in fear. Yoko had snapped the chain. As Ryoko stood up, she told them that she didn't mind getting hurt over and over again, and getting punched meant nothing to her. Enduring to the point where she would cough up blood was okay as well. However, hurting someone who didn't have anything to do with this was something that was out of her understanding. As she said this, she readied herself and told them that she would now be teaching them some manners with her iron legs. The bullies panicked and cursed. Yoko dashed forward, launching herself into the air. Her right leg landed on one of the girls, using her like a platform. From that height, she twisted her body midair, and with a single crushing swing, kicked the lead bully in the face, shattering her nose and her arrogance in one clean hit. Later, after fending off the girls, Ryoko stood at the train stop where she hoped the boy might be. It felt like she had become a joke to everyone around her. No one asked if she was okay. They only chuckled and stared. She knew it was time to bring everything to a close and say sorry for all the chaos. She braced herself for whatever was to come. When the train doors opened, the boy was right there unexpectedly. Both of them were bruised and battered from head to toe. They exchanged surprised looks and stuttered at each other's appearance. Ryoko took a breath and said it was her fault he got hurt. She told him she was just happy he seemed all right. Handing him the handkerchief, she said softly, "You might not remember, but this handkerchief is yours, and I would like to thank you for everything." But before she could say more, the boy cut in and said he remembered her clearly. As he took the cloth, Ryoko stood stunned. He went on to say that he had always wanted to talk to her too, but his nerves always got in the way. While he said this shyly, he noticed tears forming in her eyes. Beneath all her strength, Yoko was still just a regular girl with deep, genuine feelings. And at that moment, she realized her love life might finally be moving forward.